You're gonna notice too. I'm gonna throw this in there. Because the devil and the beast have had quite a bit of control over government and government agencies and stuff like that, you're gonna probably notice when they do things against God's people, if you happen to be one of them, you will notice if something happens to you that they do to you that they know darn well they ain't supposed to be doing. And at the same time, you know you darn well have the right to defend yourself if you feel yourself is actually in jeopardy, however necessary. You probably gonna notice whether you do or don't defend yourself, you're gonna see them flicking peacock themselves around. You're gonna see them display their power like how I drove past today. They showed, well, they ain't showed, I call it a show. They got all the prisoners and stuff out there in their stripes and stuff right at the bridge where they know I actually have to come across. Right down at the edge of Bay Street, which has never happened that I've seen more than maybe once since in my life, probably actually seeing them actually working around the Paradise Island area. So as far as I'm concerned, that's some little peacock trying to flash this little gay feathers thinking that God won't bash his actually head clean off for messing with his son or his people and get the self-defense added to it. There's too much evidence now of what's been done to God's people. And yes, it is right there waiting on the flicking devil to act the flicking fool. God has his angels everywhere he needs them to be. So while they peacocking, God gun cocking. Can't beat God. So trying to flicking scare us into this, that, and next thing, we don't fear who we supposed to fear. So y'all faggots might as well just flicking sell tickets for y'all show next time you want somebody watch some dumb shit. We ain't falling for it. I ain't. You come around me playing, it look like you did come around me playing. And that's right. And that's just as thinking as a regular citizen, although y'all know quite well I ain't. Stop trying to promote that shit. Y'all gonna get a lot more people flicking involved and unnecessarily damaged because there is a security force that I didn't even know about. A human security force I had no idea about. Like I said, I totally forgot for the longest while who I was. God had to remind me. And while it's elevating me to another plane, showing me that yes, the angels actually really do be putting their work in. Look at Woodlawn Gardens. Look at Lakeview. When people don't get the message, the people who was around them eventually get the message because they see where they is end up. God just called them, hey, the fuck is y'all doing? Sometimes he be saying, when they reach in his presence, do not play with God's people. I'll rephrase that. Do not try and harm or do anything negative to God's people. He does not play about his people. Every day a Hitler wakes up, ready to flicking destroy a flicking nation of who destroyed, who messed with God's people. How do I know? Ask me personally. 200 million of them, roughly, already here, up and down, just waiting on flicking God to say the word. Remind you of what y'all done did to yourselves. Job. Oh no, cold flu. Job. Y'all scared of the flicking flu and y'all can't fear God? Y'all disposable, man. Y'all flicking napkins. Y'all just passing through. At the very best, y'all helpful. And sometimes too helpful. You could do some things for ourselves. It's cheaper, y'all. Yeah, if y'all that flicking napkin-y, y'all, yeah, please just head straight for the garbage one time. Be the lemon. Don't drag nobody else by. Just be the lemon. Run and jump off the cliff. Find the flicking nearest lava pit and run and jump in it. Do yourself a favor. Don't drag nobody else down with you, because that's literally all y'all the fuck they all just do. Nothing. Nag. Get something to flicking tear your head off, and then all of a sudden, now you added somebody that ain't necessarily was supposed to be mixed up in no shit in some shit. Just because y'all like shit, y'all faggots like shit, y'all bats like shit, like living in tight, hard, stinky holes shit. We don't do the bodiness, man. Love God, fear God, treat people the way you want to be treated. Treat people the way you want to be treated. Say it again, treat people the way you want to be treated. Watch some movies. Learn some fear that might actually not cause you any harm or damage. It ain't all in books. Books don't show you the full force of what God does actually do. Some of y'all scared of that already, so y'all probably don't watch movies or have been instructed not to watch movies. But maybe y'all should. Start with Jason. Matter of fact, try G.I. Joe. Any movie nowadays, God will present himself where he actually needs to. Creativity all comes from God. Where do y'all think is flicking, what the dude names? Steven Spielberg or all them kind of people? No, all creativity comes from God. Who needs to get the messages they get, will get them.